Hello students, in this video I will tell you briefly about the fate of carbon skeletons of amino acids and biosynthesis of non-essential amino acids. So in this table, which I have already drawn to save time, the glucosonic, ketogenic and both glucosonic and ketogenic amino acids are shown, as well as the non-essential then semi-essential and essential amino acids are shown. Out of non-essential amino acids which we can synthesize and don't require in diet, 9 are glucosonic amino acids which give us glucose, and 1 is both glucosonic and ketogenic amino acids which can give us glucose and ketone bodies or fats. Then semi-essential amino acids, we have 2 amino acids, arginine and histidine. Essential amino acids, we have 3 amino acids, 8 amino acids. Out of 8 amino acids, we have 3 glucosonic amino acids, 4 glucosonic and ketogenic amino acids, and 1 purely ketogenic amino acid. Now, to understand the fate of carbon skeleton of the amino acids, we have to draw one diagram. From glucose, by the process of glycolysis, we get pyruvate. Then, by oxidative decarboxylation, we get acetyl coenzyme A, which enters the TCA cycle along with oxaloacetate to form citrate, which forms isocitrate. Isocitrate forms alpha ketoglutarate. Alpha ketoglutarate forms succinyl coenzyme A, which forms succinate. Succinate forms fumarate. Fumarate forms malate, which forms oxaloacetate. Acetyl coenzyme A is converted into acetoacetate, so it can form ketone bodies and it is a reversible reaction. Now the ketogenic amino acids, they can either form acetyl coenzyme A like isoleucine or acetoacetate like amino acids leucine, lysine, phenylalanine, tyrosine and tryptophan. Pyruvate is formed by the amino acids alanine, cysteine, glycine, serine, threonine and tryptophan. Then alpha ketoglutarate is formed by glutamate. Glutamate is formed by glutamine. Then glutamate is also given by arginine, histidine and proline. Succinyl coenzyme is given by 4 amino acids: isoleucine, methionine, threonine and valine. Fumarate is given by 2 amino acids: phenylalanine and tyrosine. Oxaloacetate is given by aspartate. Aspartate is given by asparagine. So the amino acids which give acetoacetate and acetoacetate and acetyl coenzyme A are ketogenic amino acids, and the amino acids which give pyruvate and other metabolites of the TCA cycle give glucose. So you have to remember 7 metabolites. Number 1 is pyruvate, number 2 is acetyl coenzyme A, number 3 is acetoacetate, number 4 is alpha ketoglutarate, number 5 is succinyl coenzyme A, number 6 is fumarate, and number 7 oxaloacetate. So these are the intermediates to which the amino acids are converted and they enter the glycolysis or TCA cycle to form the glucose or if ketone bodies or fatty acids, or they can be completely oxidized into carbon dioxide and water. Now, biosynthesis of non-essential amino acids is by 5 ways or 5 common patterns. Number 1 is transamination. By transamination, we can have 3 amino acids: alanine, aspartate, and glutamate. Next is by amidation. By amidation, we can have 2 amino acids: aspargine and glutamine. Number 3, synthesis of proline. Number 4, synthesis of serine, glycine, and cysteine. Their synthesis are interlinked. Number 5 is tyrosine. Okay. So how by transamination we can have alanine, aspartate, and glutamate? You know the transamination reaction. So pyruvate is the keto acid of alanine. So pyruvate combines with one amino acid. So it takes up the amino group of this amino acid and converts into alanine, and this amino acid is converted into the corresponding keto acid. This is transamination reaction, which is reversible. It is carried out by transaminases, and if this amino acid is glutamate, then the enzyme is serum glutamate pyruvate transaminase or alanine transaminase, ALT. If this amino acid is aspartate, then this keto acid is oxaloacetate. Okay, so aspartate we can have from oxaloacetate, and if this amino acid is glutamate, then this enzyme will be serum glutamate oxaloacetate transferase or aspartate aminotransferase. Similarly, we can have glutamate. If this is glutamate, from alpha ketoglutarate by transamination. Okay, so that is how by transamination we can have these 3 amino acids. Apart from that, there is another source of glutamate, that is from alpha ketoglutarate directly by glutamate dehydrogenase reaction, where NADPH or NAD occurs as coenzyme. NADH occurs as coenzyme. Now by amidation, we can have glutamine and aspargine. Glutamine is synthesized from glutamate by amidation reaction. Ammonia is there. The enzyme is glutamine synthetase. ATP is required. Aspargine we can have from aspartate by aspargine synthetase. Here the source of amide group is glutamine, which forms glutamate. Here ATP is required, which is converted into AMP and inorganic pyrophosphate. This is how these 2 amino acids are formed. Next is synthesis of proline. Proline is synthesized from glutamate by the process of reduction and cyclization. From glutamate, first the kinase enzyme will convert glutamate into glutamate gamma glutamate gamma phosphate. ATP is the phosphate donor. Glutamate gamma phosphate is converted into glutamate gamma semialdehyde by the enzyme dehydrogenase. Here NADPH is required. Glutamate gamma semialdehyde undergoes spontaneous cyclization to form pyrroline 5 carboxylate. This pyrroline 5 carboxylate undergoes reduction to form proline. Reductase enzyme. NADPH is required. So this is how proline is formed. Next is serine. Serine is formed by the intermediate of glycolysis 3-phosphoglycerate. Three-phosphoglycerate undergoes oxidation first to form phosphohydroxypyruvate. NAD is required and the enzyme is dehydrogenase. Phosphohydroxypyruvate undergoes transamination. This is one amino acid, this is the keto acid, and which forms phosphoserine. Transaminase enzyme is required. Transaminase. Phosphoserine undergoes hydrolysis. By hydrolase, phosphate is removed to form serine. So this is how serine is formed. Serine can also be formed from glycine. There is a reversible reaction between serine and glycine, which is catalyzed by serine hydroxymethyl transferase. Tetrahydrofolic acid is required, which forms methylene tetrahydrofolic acid. Okay. So by this reaction, serine can be formed from glycine and glycine can be formed from serine. Next is glycine. Glycine is synthesized from serine. From choline also it can be synthesized. First, choline undergoes dehydrogenation. Dehydrogenase enzyme to form betaine aldehyde. Then betaine aldehyde is converted into betaine by dehydrogenase, again another dehydrogenase enzyme. Betaine is converted into dimethylglycine by betaine, homocysteine and methyl transferase. Betaine, homocysteine and methyl transferase. Dimethylglycine is converted into sarcosine by another dehydrogenase enzyme. Sarcosine is converted into glycine by sarcosine dehydrogenase. Okay, so this is about synthesis of glycine. Glycine can also be synthesized from threonine, glycine plus acetaldehyde, then by the enzyme threonine aldolase. It can also be formed from carbon dioxide, ammonia, and one carbon unit by glycine synthase multi-enzyme complex. Next is synthesis of cysteine. Cysteine can be synthesized from homocysteine and serine. They first combine to form cystathionine by cystathionine beta synthase. Cystathionine undergo lysis by lyase enzyme to form homoserine and cysteine. This homocysteine is formed from methionine. This is about cysteine synthesis. Then tyrosine. Tyrosine is synthesized from phenylalanine by phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme, which is a monooxygenase. Here one coenzyme known as tetrahydrobiopterin is required. Tetrahydrobiopterin, which is converted into dihydrobiopterin. Tetrahydrobiopterin can be regenerated by dihydrobiopterin reductase. It requires the coenzyme NADPH. So this is about synthesis of non-essential amino acids. Thank you.